The following is the extract of a course linked in the description.
Hello guys, this is Krishna. Thank you for joining me in this new video. What I'm going to show you now is what I do when I'm finished with a project and I want to archive it, right? Basically, there are two steps that I do. First one is come up here, file, export, and I'm going to come up here to zip loop package. And basically what this is going to do, so when I'm going to click on it, the first thing that it's going to do, and this is part of what we just did in the previous video, we selected the folder where basically all the files that are related to our projects are all going to be saved, right? So in this case over here, it's gonna create a zip file, and it's gonna include in that zip file, it's gonna include the project, the FS Studio project file, and as well all the different audios that we have used here, right? And this is perfect because the path is gonna be related to that zip file. So we're sure that when we're opening that project, we are not gonna have an issue with an audio that we cannot find, right? Because that is one issue that sometimes that you're gonna find if you maybe is changing a hard drive, the path that is related to let's say this file over here is a specific path. So if the when FSUJ is trying to open this folder and it doesn't find the path that we have set up there, then we have an issue. It's gonna throw an error and say that we cannot find the audio file. So that is one thing that I do over here. I'm gonna go over here, export zip loop, and over here all I do, so I'm just gonna save it, and basically it's gonna go ahead and zip everything, and it's pretty quick. And I'm just gonna come up here really quickly, desktop, one training, and this is what I have over here. So I have the zip file, and I'm gonna double click on it. Let me just double click on it, and over here I have the project. I have the folder with the FS Studio file over here and all the different audios that we have included over here, right? So over here you see some of the ones that we had consolidated and everything, but everything is here. We sure that we are not missing anything. And this is usually what I use if you're working with a different producer, when I was working with a friend of mine, we were producing together to exchange different files, to exchange a project file. This is what we were doing, right? And this is what I would recommend. The only issue that could happen at this point, right, when you're opening a folder, everything is pretty set up, but the only issue that could happen here is if your friend or the person opening that project over here doesn't have the same type of plugin that you used, right? At that point, it's gonna let you know that you cannot find the one specific plugin and give you an error. But as far as audio, we basically set over here, right? The other step that I take, and it's a little bit redundant, but I prefer to do that, is to come up here and select the project data files, and basically again, because we set up that folder right in the previous video, over here it does the same thing that we're doing here, but it basically doesn't do it. It basically doesn't turn it into a zip file. It just load all the different audio that we have here. It's gonna load it here. So in case maybe because all the different audios that I'm using here, they all have their own relative path, right? So, and maybe in the future, when I'm going to open this project, it cannot find a specific audio, but because I have loaded all the different WAV file over here, I just know which one to use. So in case one is not being used, I can come up here and just link it to that specific one. Specifically, the name is gonna appear there, and that's basically what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it just like that. It's gonna go ahead and load all those files. When I'm gonna open it here, this is now what you're seeing. So you see it's very similar to what we have here, right? And maybe let me sort it by kind. So we have our project file. This is the original that we had there. This is the zip file that we just created, and that zip file generated this folder over here, right? But with that export project data files, basically all the files that were used in this folder over here, they're also being loaded here. So I have a little bit of a backup in case when I've opened this project over here, because everything is linked, I cannot find a specific audio. I know the name of it, and I can load it. So this is what I would recommend for you to archive, just to make sure that you don't have any issue in the future when opening your project. And I hope that has been helpful. Guys, if you enjoy the content, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. I also wanted to let you know about my free mastering mini course that's going to be available there in the description. You're also going to get with that free banger drums kit, right, with some crazy samples. Basically, you're going to be able to make some crazy drum patterns. Okay, so the link is going to be in the description. It's going to let you know how you're going to have access to it, and I will talk to you in another video.